Okay, so we are here, back again. So, in the previous stream, I did this, the things that are deadly. Now what I want to do will be slightly different thing. What's my plan for now? It's getting complicated here. It's so cool. You keep going, bro. Thank you so much. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. You saw the last part? I just did this on the stream earlier today. And I don't like the fact it's not moving at all. So I want to put a little movement to it, and then once I will have it, I want to switch Okay, so that's weird. Someone is drilling. Sweet. Can I put it somewhat on the front? So I want that the way to replace that deadly. I'm pretty sure it can just smoothly switch from one to another. That will look cool, and then I'm drinking you part. Just squashed a little to work perfectly. So in this idea, I will have to move. Let me sketch something. And this way I will have to, because I will switch from the things that are deadly to the way I'm drinking it down. I will have to move entire this part up to where it is here. And my idea for it is to put the things that are deadly, like liquefying, inside of the letters to fill them up, like a liquefy effect that will fill the letters. Then this one will disappear, and when this movement will be going, the deadly will go just a slightly up, and once it's going up and it's filled with red, it will turn to the way, which is here, and then will do exactly the same thing. So it will like lose that liquid inside and turn into I'm drinking you down. And that's what I'm going to do. But before I will do this, there is one thing that I really want to do. Let me focus on the letters one more time. The thing that I don't like here in this particular animation is when I have this transition here, there's actually nothing happening, and I don't like that. It's like it's nothing. It's trash, to be honest. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna put this deadly into the line layer, and the reason for that will be to animate just deadly, and on this layer just this part. So what I'm gonna do now is I will draw a little line with invisible line, kind of, that will be here. And I'm gonna copy and paste this line to the line layer. So I have the same line here and the same line here. And what I'm gonna do is I will move the letters up once this effect appearing. Okay, so once I have that, there will be just a little bit of movement up, and then on the deadly a little bit of movement down. So instead of having just trashy nothing happening, I want to have a little movement that will actually drag the letters up. So what I'm gonna do, from here, it is the first frame that's supposed to happen. Let me bring down the opacity as much as I can on the layers that I don't care, probably all of them. And I want this here. I don't want to move anything, and the deadly is not appearing here at all. So here the deadly is not existing. Okay, so what will happen will be this movement of the letters that will start from the very first frame. I will create just some empty frames here. Once I have them, I can start dragging down everything. The idea for it will be to drag what's opening first, so those letters will appear first. Let me draw something somewhere, but I'm thinking where, like a guide. Can I create one more layer that will work as a guide for me? With this color, I'm going to create something just slightly, a little arrows, to tell myself where actually I want this animation to happen and where I want to start it and where I want to stop it. It's not working right now, but right now it should. Then I'm on this what just happened on this layer and on the color. Okay, that works for me. So now I want to start moving with those letters, so they will moving up and they will stay here once the ones on the very back are just joining. So those two, maybe even those three, I'll start bringing them down, and then I don't need this line at this point. So once I have this, I'm gonna copy and paste everything here. Then I'm gonna bring more letters down, while those two will go a little bit faster. And then I'm gonna repeat this process all over again and again. until everything will be kind of moving down like crazy. This one, those two. So just a frame by frame motion that will bring the letters up as the eyes will open wide. That's the idea here. So I don't need this layer as well as this drawing, and this one I'll just erase whenever I don't need on the screen. So here I can clearly see that I haven't moved the T letter, and I don't want to move it just yet. I want to move anything but this letter, but I will just bring down the I. Okay, so at this one I will move everything but T letters. Then I want to deselect some of them. That should be okay. And bring them down even more. And just repeat that process a couple times. Until I will have a smooth motion. So it's looking great so far. Just 2-3 more frames. Right now I want to move everything down, just a little. Then I will deselect those middle letters, move everything down, deselect those. That I should go down just a little. H, G, S, T, E. Something like this, maybe R, just slightly. T, S, maybe this one just a little more with the E. So right now I can't see the E letter as well as this T, so I'm gonna delete them entirely. Then I can just drag everything down even more, excluding the T's and excluding the middle letters, and just repeat this process over and over. I'm gonna copy this, paste it here. As I can see, I will no longer need those letters. I'll just move them down, excluding T's, down more, excluding these A and H. From now I see I don't need these two, and now it's what I have. And on this frame I clearly have nothing else but the T's, and I will just leave them. So now what I have is that smooth little animation that's taking the letters up. And it's like following the motion of the the special effect here that's dragging it down. And I want to have a similar motion for the deadly. I'm thinking of switching it from ones into twos, just to check if it can be slower a little. Yeah, now it's just slightly smoother. And I want to do exactly the same thing with the deadly. So the deadly starts appearing here, but it's supposed to start appearing somewhere else. I'm gonna copy this deadly from the line layer and I will paste it all over to check where it should start. Okay, so now I see. Let me create a couple in-betweens. What I'm going to do now is I will appear this from this little point here. Let me show you what I mean by that. So as I have those arrows here, I might actually recolor them to the red. I don't know where I drew them. Okay, I have them. And now I will just change the direction so I will see what I'm doing. Let me bring down the opacity once again to have a clearer vision of what I'm doing. And exactly the same idea. I'm actually I will be draw overing everything. That will be a cool idea. So what I mean by that, okay, so the last letters that will join will be Y, A, D, and D. So I'm gonna do just a slight motion here and copy exactly the same what I did a second ago. So in order to do it, I will just erase everything from this layer because I will be copying it backwards. That will be a backward motion. So there's a little motion here, and then I can move everything and continue this motion, but faster, slightly. Then I will copy everything and paste it backwards, as I said. Then this motion will continue faster. I'm copying everything, pasting it here. So the middle letters should go away faster right now at this point. Now I should match this one with this part. It's going great so far. Let's copy everything but without this line here and paste it backwards. Okay, working perfectly. Now I might actually slow it a little to just give it. I will show you in a second what I mean, because there's so much that I want to do here. Then there will be this. And maybe it should slow down here a little, like I will have something like this. Now, what I want is I will, with a cutter tool, let me show you, I'm opening this, I'm opening the cutter tool, and from the cutter tool, I'm gonna cut everything what's over this layer. Just a quickly think. I don't need this guy. those lines either. Okay, so it's getting trickier. I don't like this. So it's it will kind of start appearing. There was no motion, it was so dead. I had to do something here. And I came up with this idea. I believe it's cool. Well, we'll see if it turns out cool in a second. Just a little bit of cutting here and there. Just a little more, and then everything is on the screen. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I will grab this color. I'm gonna do a little draw over, and I have to remind myself the properties. This is not bad. Okay, so now I will simply draw over in the middle of this stroke. To not have that edge super weird. Just cut it unnaturally. It will be just a little smoothed out. I haven't even checked if the motion is good, but I don't care. I know it has to be good. If this would not work out first try, I would probably never attempt to do this, because it's taking so much time. I have to make it effortlessly in order to finish it in reasonable time. I don't have entire life animating this, even though I'm enjoying it so much. Okay, so that's it for the D letters. Then is the letter A. Honestly, I thought there will be more drawings to make it happen the way I wanted to do it, but it seems like it's just working the way I wanted, and I'm happy about it. Last two letters, and I can check how it's looking. Okay, last couple frames, and it's done. Now let me bring back the opacity over this animation. I don't need this anymore. And now I have this little motion with the letters, but what I need exactly will be to put everything on twos. like literally someone is drilling. Can you hear that? Oh my god. And I will extend this exposure. So now I want two things to happen, and I'm not sure if I have the time for animating that actually, but well, I have to check it. So there is D and there is way. So what I want to happen is let me think quickly. This change into the, and I will want to kind of morph D into DA, DA into D. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, I'm sorry. The first video with that type of animation I did for the Logan Paul versus KSI was pretty breakthrough moment for me because it's opened some things about how to because I was always trying to imagine myself animating like entire video clips just by myself, one person doing like the entire clip, and I was searching for so long a technique or a method to actually make it happen. And this one seems to be really something that I can actually do. So now I want to morph the letter D into T. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a super quick motion, super quick. So the first frame will be to just a little dragging this to that. Okay, and then this middle part have to collapse and disappear. And I'm gonna do it for all the letters here. Here should be just a tiny motion, but with exactly the same idea. And now I'm gonna do exactly the same reverse for the T letter. I'm not sure how to do it yet, but I have to figure it out quickly. Something like this should work. This is not good. Not good at all. Okay. So then it's this and that. So the inside of the T should be like invisible from this point. So I believe it's smooth. I don't know if I will need more in betweens, maybe just one. We'll see. So I'm gonna do exactly the same for all the letters. Which might be tricky for some of them, how to actually make it happen. If I should open up this space and like connect those parts. This is tricky. It's pretty interesting. So what I'm going to do, I will need this to move slowly, and then I will probably start opening this down part and start connecting this. And what now? Now what should happen? This should start collapsing entirely. Then I should start kind of grabbing this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to put kind of in between somewhere. Kind of morph into H letter, which is here. And now I need this one straight, and this one kind of started forming. This will be tricky. Okay. Then it's this, and this works out. That's interesting. I've never did anything like that before, like that type of idea. It's pretty cool to challenge myself into something super unusual. There should be this collapse in this way and the collapse in this way, but I did something wrong here because I have to move more to the right. Okay. Now it's cool for the E, for the H turning into H. Yes, I'm still streaming, there's no time to waste. And I want to morph that E letter into E, A into E. So this one should go much straighter. And this one should start open, as well as here. And the entire bottom should start catching this. And now I want to collapse what's inside of A in some way. How about dragging it down? and forming into more kind of a square. But obviously move left to keep everything consistent. Alright, and now I just have to kind of connect it. It's like this motion. And what should happen now? Once this one is dragging down and I'm kind of morphing this into something like this. Okay, so what will happen here? Okay, so I see. Something like this. So the one thing that's bothering me is just this one, because you'd have to move to the left actually. So there's my mistake. It's pretty smooth. I like it. Okay, so the second part is this, and exactly the same method to swap them from D into W, and a little bit of thinking here how to manage that. I have no idea. How about opening this part and once it's open I have to just do everything else here. Okay, so let's try. I will start opening like this. So it's D letter that I'm working on, so it have to be super close to the D outline. It's trying to maintain this, and I have to drag down those to create this empty space for the W. Hello! Mother of dragons. Now I'm opening this just a little, and this is the D letter. Okay, and I need to collapse this. Trying to open it. That's pretty okay. This is gonna be so cool. I hope so. I hope so. I'm spending too much time on it. More than I should. But I'm enjoying it so much. So that will probably turn out cool. Hopefully. So this is pretty smooth. So now I have to morph that L into A. Which is tricky. I'm gonna start with morphing just the outline. So I'm going for from the L, okay? So once I'm going from the L letter, I'm here trying to open that negative space on the bottom, and this is it. And then from the A letter, it's almost there. Alright, and this inside, it will, this inside have to collapse. Thank you so much. Okay, I believe this Y, I will actually draw it, why not, to make it more fluid instead of just moving it. And this is it. I don't need this way here. Can I delete it? I can. Okay. I don't think it's too fast. I believe it's okay. I could put it on twos, but I don't know if I should actually. Let me check it. The music is distracting me too much. So I had the second idea that's not working at all. To liquefy this upper row inside of to fill with red color what's happening here. But I'm not sure if it works cool if I will do it simultaneously with the morphing part. I kind of want to try, but I don't know. You know, just to take those letters on the top and liquefy them inside of this to literally feel the inside of those letters. That is my idea, because then I could do exactly the same thing and liquefy them into I'm drinking you down, which drinking would kind of work with what I'm doing, also down, because there will be that down motion. And what I'm doing here exactly is pretty much based on the words, not necessarily on the meaning. So that's usually working. But I don't know if it will work. If I will, let me expand it and listen a little more. F5. I don't know if I have time for that actually. Because there should be something like, let me focus on this layer for a second. There is that drinking you down part, so I can delete it here. Drinking you down. And what should happen with this motion here, I should actually have let me show you this motion to recenter everything. I'll just draw a little guides for myself. So the way will be centered now, and once it's centered and once the next part is appearing, I should have one more motion which will try to center this part into the screen. And this kind of works. I don't know why I have this red thing here. Can I delete it somehow? Hello? I'm trying. Okay. So I can hide this. From this point, I no longer need these because it's moving up. Okay, let me put a little ease, maybe even 50. How about 50? It's working with the music, and that's fine. But I believe it should be just a little bit faster. Just a couple frames. How about this? Much better. This one works. How about this? 50? Yes, it's 50. Let's try it. If I will not try it, I will never know if it can actually works. So, I could never do this. You could. You just need a couple years, I believe. Nothing super special. Can I disable this peg or everything will crash? I can. So I'm gonna make this animation without this peg, so everything will stay in one spot, which is totally fine. Can I start liquefying it before everything will happen? Should this S letter go here? Or the S letter should go here? I believe there should be split, like in this spot. Couple years? Yeah. Nothing super special, just couple years. So I'm gonna grab this. What I'm going to do is I will liquefy this T, H, and the same with the rest. Not so sure how many frames I will have to draw to make it happen. Hopefully not thousands. So from the concept of just creating lyric video with just simple things, I decided to create super ambitious project, which is fine, but it's tough. 24 frames per second. I was actually thinking if I should make like 24, I mean 12, to save time. Actually, that was the idea, just to save time. And as you can see, I'm mostly working on twos, but here I jumped into ones, and I don't know, maybe it would be a cool stylistic choice to actually move into ones, into twos entirely. I don't know. So I'm gonna check quickly with T letter if this can actually work. Let's speed it up. So what will happen from this point, I want to have it filled entirely. Okay. Not sure if it will not be too quick, but we'll see in a second. And now my T letter is entirely filled with red color, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna make just a little in between here because I have time for that. I'm gonna go and grab this, put it there, fill that empty space. I'm gonna check how it's looking. It will be available to watch it later. It fits the creepiness of the song. Let me show you something from the start, actually. So the character is going here, and then it's liquefying, creating splash, creating this. So looking like this. Okay, it's not looking bad. Oh god, I'm so happy. Yeah, that will work. I don't mind. So how about here? The H letter. The H letter should actually split, and it should go like there. So this part will go there, and this part will go there. Let me save the project. Glad you like it. So from this point it's just one blob. I might make just this. Something like that. And then it's liquefying inside. So now it's this part. I have to skew this T letter to move to the right to liquefy there. Now those two have to combine. What are you using? So this is Toon Boom Harmony Premium. It's the software that most of the animation studios, if you are watching like cartoons or like Cartoon Network, so most of them are done either in like Adobe Animate or Toon Boom. So I'm using Toon Boom. It's pretty expensive, but unfortunately most of the animation industries work in it, so there's kind of no other option. If you want to make money making animations like the ones that you can see on Cartoon Network. Yes, I'm working on a Cintiq. For the long time I was using Intuos, but after I had opportunity to work on Cintiq, I had to switch and buy one for myself. Uh, I could deal without it. It's okay still. I was working on Intuos 4. It's a good graphic tablet to work on. But once you discover something like Cintiq and you have opportunity to work on it, because if you don't have and you just like want to buy it for the sake of buying it, it's a bad thing to do. But if you worked on it and then you have to back to Intuos, it's a proper reason to just buy it and go with the flow. That's my opinion. So then it comes to this thing. I'll just have to fill those spaces here. I can quickly check if it's working. Yeah, there's something wrong with it. I'll have to manually modify it to make it work better. Like this, it's not working at all. Now it's better. There's something wrong with this one. Okay, I'm gonna leave it with this. You're welcome. What can I say? I say you're welcome. And there is the E letter. What in the world I am doing now? Well, this in between works, I believe, but it's so weird. Alright. So what now? I can feel this space a little bit. I'm just gonna do something like this. Now everything should be filled from here. Okay. So the very top part is done. How about copying and pasting it all over? And then let's spread it. That's wrong. So it's touching and then it's coming off the wall. Okay, that's better. This one is dripping off the wall and this one is done entirely. Like this. And this is the last frame here. Which should work like this. I'm gonna copy it and paste it here so I can just fill this space here. And this is it. So those letters will start getting at this frame. And I want to unpaint it from now. And what will happen is they will start liquefying down in the same way that I just did. That's very wrong. Okay, I need music in my ear. That should do the work. And the R will liquefy inside of that Y. Let's do it. How much longer today are you gonna live stream this? So probably no longer than like 15 minutes, I guess, because I have to go somewhere. But I will more likely stream like later and tomorrow probably. So hopefully I will just finish filling up those letters, and that will be it for now. I just noticed this is the last frame here. That's tricky now. I have to create a couple more flare frames and just erase this one. Okay. And now it's working. Sure. Just two more. This is tricky. Okay. It's getting somewhere. Okay, so maybe I will finish the W letter first. I don't know. So the A letter is dragging this, and this is it. So yeah, I will finish the W letter first. There's not so many layers, not so many frames left. This one will drip on the side like this. Okay. And the last part here, last frame on the W letter will look like this. And I'm gonna copy this, fill it, paste it here, fill it, fill all the rest of it, and then I will move to the A letter. And simply draw what's missing there. This is inspiring me. Glad to hear that. Actually read. Thank you so much. So now if you are actually inspired, you should go and do something. Okay, so this one is over. I'm gonna speed up here. So then it's the last frame. I just added one more because of this place. I'm gonna just copy it, paste it, fill this space, and this is it. And it have to be centered at this point, and this. Okay, so the entire thing is looking like this. And there will be just a tiny little just a tiny, like I want to drown, like I want to end me. This part is the end of the first verse. Not sure what exactly I want to do with it, but in the actual video, why don't you use 12 FPS instead? Because sometimes I need to have that quicker motion. I feel like I have to do something on once sometimes. Like for example this part here. If this part will not be at once, it will look really weird and it will have no impact with it. So to have that impact, it have to be done on once. So that's a little trap you can get into if you will go on 24 and you are thinking to make everything on 12. You can end up making everything on once. But you have to constantly think about it to not make that mistake actually, and do everything that you can to not do it. So maybe I just have a little more time to fill those letters quickly. I'm gonna copy and paste as much as I can. This redrawing the letters is just a stylistic choice. I could use the font, but with something that's actually hand drawn, I believe I can achieve more and feel more comfortable than having just letters. I did the letters in that type of videos, and I wasn't like fully satisfied with how it turns. So to avoid that, right now I just simply want to have one style all over, and just copying and pasting it over and over. I'm checking if I can reuse something, but unfortunately I can't. So I have to redraw the last. I just noticed I can reuse the D letter. Have a wave wash over the world or something. Wave wash over the world. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to do something that comes to my head naturally, that I believe will be able to do very quick. That's something that I'm aiming for, to have something that will be possible to do very quick, and it's something that I can't just predict, because when I'm drawing it, it's just coming to me in some way. So yeah, that will be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I will just play everything from the beginning one more time. And this is it. I kind of wanted to do it vertically, and the part that will be tricky is this part, because I will have to draw a lot to fill this entire space to make it vertically. That's horrible. And this verse ends with the hand on the silhouette, kind of. So there are a couple hands that are taking her down, and the entire screen is changing to white. So I might have it at the very end, but from what I see now, I just have like 1.5 seconds, which is not so long. I have to think about it. Okay, thank you so much, and see you on the next one. Cheers.